Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Home Staging Talk Show Live. I'm Jenny Norris, your host, and we're using a new platform starting in 2019. So this is the first show where we are using this type of platform. So I hope we have good success with everything. And anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. So hopefully you all had a fabulous New Year and had fun, had a great holiday season. So it went by so fast. Didn't it? And I always like to kind of think like, it's the start of a new year and you have to ask yourself, like, what are your new goals for 2019? Can you believe it, 2019? So did you set any goals? There's a weird thing on my hair sticking out. This is a different reflection. So what are your goals for 2019? Did you set any? And as you look at the new year, did you take a look at your last year? What did you do your last year? And I can't see whether people are able to hear me okay. So this is different because it does broadcast on Facebook, but I'm actually looking at the, okay, it is. Linda says it's good. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. What were your goals from 2018? Did you hit those? And if not, it's okay. You just reset your goals. At the end of every year, what we like to do is to look back and count up how many staging projects we accomplished. And so we always take a look at how many consultations, how many hands-on or vacant stagings we did. And then cumulatively, we did previews, we did de-stages. So we add up our numbers, and then I compare those with the numbers from the previous year to see, what was the growth. And, it's okay if your goal is like, I'm happy with where my business is as far as volume, and you sustain that, that's fine. I was talking with a colleague and they were sharing that sometimes it feels like we're all, rushing to get, bigger. And that doesn't necessarily always have to happen. So as long as you have your goals set and you're hitting your goals, that's all that matters. And your goals are between you and whatever your business, process is. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else. So, but it is important to know, did you hit your goals? And if not, then what are you going to do this year to make sure that you do hit those goals? So it could be maybe you have to prospect more or market yourself more to your target client. And then what kind of projects do you want to come your way? So I learned a long time ago from my mentor, Barb Schwartz, who's going to be one of our guests today. You have to put it out there and write it down, your goals, in order to know whether or not you're going to hit them. So you do want to speak it into existence, and that type of business then will come to you. You'll attract the type of business that you are wishing for and also setting as a goal. So a long time ago, we had watched The Secret. This was probably like mid-2000s. Barb had us watch that. And I'd always learned, positive attracts positive, which is true. And but when I watched that, one of the aha moments for me was that negative also attracts. I always thought negative repels. But negative also attracts more negative. So when you think about the type of clients that you might have dealt with this last year, if there were any challenging clients, maybe you say, what was it in my communication that caused the situation to happen the way it did? And then say this year, I'm going to make sure to ask these questions or clarify or decide I want to work with those types of people. So think about the types of staging projects you do want, where there's larger houses, smaller houses, you want to work with investors, whoever, and then write it down and then tell yourself, these clients are going to be coming to me. I'm going to be finding these people. They're going to love to work with me and so forth, so that you're intentional with your goals. You don't just throw some numbers out, but be intentional. And then you got to put the legwork in place to make that happen. So I strongly suggest that if you guys have not watched our business planning and goal setting fast track webinar, please do that, because that's it's included with your membership with IHOSP and also Staged Homes on the Staging University. Kathy Fouts does a great job. It's a 2-hour webinar, and it's included with your memberships. So, it breaks down your mission and vision statement, but also your goal setting annually, monthly, weekly, etc. The short-term and long-term goals. So take some time for yourself and do that. That'll be great. And one of my sayings for this year is plan to prosper. Plan to prosper. So isn't that great? A couple other announcements before we get into our segment. Tickets are on sale right now for Conference and Expo. So those of you that got your tickets by the end of the year, you are guaranteed a VIP spot in our 2019 Conference and Expo, which of course is happening in Nashville. So we're really excited for that. And the call for speakers ended on Monday. So thank you everybody who turned in outlines and topics. And so we will be reviewing those this weekend. And I should have some announcements to make next week. And we'll be sending information out to those of you who did submit. So thank you again, those of you that did turn in. We have a lot of really great topics. And one of the things we found with our last conference was, you try to cram as much in as far as education, but then you got to make sure to leave time for people to go to the restroom and to eat lunch. And so you have to make sure the breaks are long enough for that. So we're building more of those into the conference for 2019, which then leaves us less time for speakers. So we'll have fewer speakers, not a ton of fewer speakers, but we'll have to allot some of that time for the incidental time we need maybe in between speakers, and also so you guys can go to the restroom and eat. So, but anyhow, we're looking forward to a really good conference. It's going to be a really great lineup of speakers. Our celebrity keynote that we have so far lined up is Candace Olson. So I hope you all saw that. And our inspirational keynote will once again be Barb Schwartz. We're very excited to have her sharing her inspiration and wisdom, and just, really excited to have her with us. So we'll learn more about that maybe a little bit today, but we're going to talk about other things with her today. So I have two guests for today. Barb Schwartz, of course, as you saw the announcement, and then I have Linda Lanci. So Linda is a stager out of the Chicago area, and so she will talk about her business a little bit. And she actually has staging assistants on her team. So I wanted to continue our series of types of staging businesses, and today we were going to talk about people who are assistants on a team versus having your own business. And so since I couldn't get anybody who was actually an assistant, they weren't available, I thought, well, Linda, you're a champ. You came through for me. And she actually has, I think, 2 people you sent through. So we'll clarify that. Okay. So, all right. So with that, let's see, I guess I'll bring Barb on first. So hopefully this will work. So here, this is kind of fun. So this is some of the new features we have. So this is Barb Staging the World cover of her book. And then this is the book here, the book title, Staging the World. So let's see what happens when I bring you on, Barb. So she's notifying guests. So she'll be coming on live, and then there she is. So she'll be able to get, yeah, hi, Barb.
Good morning.
Let's see, how do I get rid of this? Okay, I'm trying to get rid of this book out of here. Oh, no. All right, let's see. Oh, I was going to put this on for you, too. So can you see me? I'm hidden by the little logo.
Yeah.
Good
morning. Awesome.
Woo! It's Barb's birthday.
If I'd known, I'd have brought some rattles.
I know. So how do I get rid of these little, let's see, maybe I try to, oh, I see, I just do this. Okay, watch, I can make that. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, there you are. Now she's bigger. Okay, now you can see.
Great.
So happy birthday, Barb.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
So it's a big one too. So
I know.
I'm not even going to say it at the moment, but I'm so excited because this is my party with you.
Well, I appreciate you being on with us on your birthday, because a lot of people would have been like, I'm celebrating my birthday. I'm not going to do anything, and as far as work related, but I know everybody loves to see you. And so everybody write down January 9th. That's Barb's birthday. So now you can remember every year. And are you doing anything special for your birthday after? You look very pretty, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's just to live and be and to be with my family. And I apologize, everyone. I have this laryngitis that I woke up with this morning, but at least I hope you can understand what I'm saying. It's just a different voice than I'm used to. So we'll probably go out to dinner and think good thoughts and look at pretty things all day long. It's going to be great.
And you got your fur babies.
Yes. Well, they know it's Mommy's birthday too.
Good.
Yep. They're not in here. They're in the car, so they don't, get into camera and knock it over.
Yeah. So now, where are you? You're not at home, right? Are you at home?
Yes, I'm at home. This is
Okay.
my office, and I love my office. And the picture behind is the picture, one of the artwork pieces that my brother did and gave to me. And one of the secrets I have for him is that on the cover of the book that I'll hold up in a few minutes is Gordon, my brother, Gordon Moore, that's his name. And, he's my little brother, 3 years younger. I'm so proud of him. And in high school, I remember him doing all these paintings and drawings and the awards he has won after he received a full scholarship to Yale in art with his doctorate and is really astounding. And I'm so proud of him. I won't read them all to you, but in the book, I share a little bit about him. And his work has been featured in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and in others, really, around the world. And he's gone to Europe many, many times, and he got there before I did. This is so funny to me. I told him that I was going to go to Europe, and I was so honored to be speaking. I'm not making this up. He's my younger brother, and he says, Barb, you have to be really solemn. Solemn? You can't be like bubbly and everything. I said, really? He said, they won't respect you unless you're really, really quiet and really, let them be the intelligent ones and you just don't talk much. And I told Kirk, my husband, I think he's embarrassed of me or something. It was so funny. And then in Europe, of course, it wasn't that way at all. We all had a ball. I mean, seriously. So then when I got back, he said, were you very calm and you didn't say any jokes or anything? You promise?
He doesn't know you very well.
And no, he doesn't. Not the real me. And so I didn't tell him about the part where my skirt fell down.
Yeah.
And I took it off. It went like this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do Facebook or any of that stuff. He's art, pure art. And I'm very proud of him. But I just didn't have the heart to tell him. So he doesn't know. Jenny, this, where is it? Oh, it's right here. This is the cover for the new book.
Beautiful.
And he does not know at all that this is one of his pieces that he did and gave to me that's on my living room wall.
Aww.
And I put it on the cover and he has no idea.
He's going to be so honored.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. Because he's an artist for art's sake. And I just want to really surprise him. And he will be surprised. He will be surprised. I remember when I told him about staging in like the 80s, that, I went on the road in 1985, but his remark was, well, I don't know if people would really do that. And I said, Gordon, you should see how the houses look. And I put some pictures up and he just said, well, that's how people live. And I said, yes, but that's not how we market the houses. So this whole time, he's kind of been like, well, I don't know if people would do that. That doesn't really make sense to me. And until there was an article in the New York Times, because he lives in New York, oh my gosh, you'd think God talked to him from the New York Times. So he kind of changed his mind then.
And sometimes it takes that third party that like writes the article, does the interview, that the parents or the siblings go, oh, I guess it really is legit. And then she knows what she's doing,
That's the truth. That's the truth. He has stood afar from it. And I think he's just kind of getting the idea I'm serious, when I was in Europe speaking, giving speeches, he was like, really? I mean, it was so funny. So anyway.
I'm sure he's very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm really excited about the cover of the book. And I dedicated part of it to him. And he'll either love it or he'll just be like, well, I don't know about that.
Right. We'll
He's so
see.
funny.
Well, so let's talk about the book. So I know you've been working on it since, I mean, you announced it in April. And so you are, I always call you the do it now woman. So you made a commitment and you don't take 10 years to write a book. So you're like, you're going to put this thing together. So how close are we to
We're
seeing
very
it?
close. And I announced it in Europe when I was there. And I didn't really start on it until August.
Right.
And that's when the majority of the stories started coming in, August, September, and October. And oh, everyone, I'm so proud of you. Those of you that sent stories, I cry all the time when I read them. They're just, you are so amazing, truly. And your work is just off the charts. And so everyone, I received over 120 stories. That's a
Wow.
lot.
That is a lot.
And that's a lot. You're going to chuckle when I tell you the bottom line here. And over 1,000 photographs of before and after. And I'm not making that up. I counted them. And so a lot of my work was to sit and to go through every single photograph before and after. It just gave me so much joy. And so we're really close to it coming. It will be out. It better be out by the end of this month, if not sooner. And, all the books that publishers did with me, they each took a year and a half, not less.
Wow.
A year and a half. So we have got, really, when people started sending them in, that would be, okay, so October, November, December, 4 months. So that's pretty darn good in the publishing world. And don't fall over, Jenny, when I tell you this, but we have over 700 pages.
Wow.
The book is over 700 pages. And so it's it's 8.5 by 11.
Wow.
Quite
Tabletop.
large, in color. And so it came, think of a ream of paper with 500 pages.
Yeah.
This is bigger than that. And I didn't want to give anybody a backache.
Right, yeah.
So we're splitting it in two.
Okay.
And there will be 2 separate books that yet A through G and H through Z. And
Cool.
that way, everybody really will be shown off to the best of my ability. And it didn't seem quite right to show 20 pictures of one person and nothing of the others. So we have for everyone 2 sets of before and after, because there were so many beautiful pictures. And so
I think I sent you like 80 sets or 60 sets. I sent you a lot just so you could pick from. I think Andrea did too. So you had some people that sent in a ton of pictures. And that's people I've only sent in like 1 or 2.
Well, listen, I love it because I'm saving them. And so everyone listening, there will be the next book in the future. So send more stories, because I'm not going to use the same stories and pictures, but the same people can be featured if you would like to be. And I want this book to really impact the world because of staging around the world. And it's for our staging industry and the real estate industry. And I really want to show you off. I really, really do. And the beautiful work that you all do, the passion you all have, the mission that you're on right along with me. And so there are going to be a number of volumes, and I would love you in it. And you may say, well, I'm already in this one. Well, you can be in the next one too. So start writing, and it's not too soon, because at the rate we're going, the book, each book will look different. This is the first. And the covers will, be the same for the 2 that are together. I call it stage 1, stage 2. There we are. The 2 different books, so that are a part of it. So just think of them kind of attached at the hip, because that's how it is. And I'm just overwhelmed by your magnificence, every single one of you. And that's whether you're in the book or not. And every story that I got that within that time frame that wasn't just one sentence, because some people did that, you are in the book. And so I did not want to, there were those that said, well, why don't you just do half of them? I said, are you kidding me? Everybody works so hard. So it's just so joyful that, Tempe's in the book. And then Patrizia in Italy is in the book. And then we have wonderful stories from Japan and China and really around the world. Africa at this point will be in a couple of the next editions. So I plan to do more traveling and just to share everybody. And I want this to give added, I hope that, I say this humbly, is really from my heart, that use it as a real marketing tool for yourself. Because humbly I share that most countries, not all, but most, know that I created home staging. And I want you to be able to toot your horn from the fact that you're in Barb's book, because the majority of this book is you, not me. And this is kind of a mock, because this size is teeny compared to the real books. And so use it as a tool to market yourself. And when I see you next, I'll autograph it and write you a little letter in it, whatever you want. And I'm so proud of Sandra Holmes. And Sandra Holmes decided that she would take part in the auction that was at conference. She paid over $3,000 for one book.
Right. The first original, she and Ada Pizan.
Yes. Ada is in the book as well as Sandra. And they wanted to donate. Thank you, because I hadn't gotten to saying her name yet, and I really appreciate you doing that. And I just am so thrilled with everybody, whether your story is 2 pages or 20. You're just beautiful.
So is the book, it will be a hardbound book?
Actually, because of the cost with the sizes,
right?
It would be so expensive for people. Probably they wouldn't want to pay $350, for the book. So it's going to be, the cover will be, how paperbacks are?
Thicker. Yeah, thicker.
The cover will be thicker. Then on the inside is nice paper, and I'm so excited about it being in color.
Yes.
And it has to be. It has to be. Yeah. And I'm having a baby. This is a baby right here. I'm having a baby, and it's not just triplets. Everybody in there. So let's see. I have 120. No.
Yeah.
120 babies.
Guinness Book of World Records.
And this is the back. So there's information in the back. And there's Gordon's picture, as I mentioned, right there. He has no clue. So those are a few things about the book. And I have some stories to read should there be enough time.
Oh, there is, yeah. And so I was going to suggest to people that when it's finally out, I could see buying it and using it even in properties that you staged, have it sitting on the coffee table or propped up. And, you might even put like a little, if you wanted to, a little sticky note or something on your story.
Yes,
what I mean?
Yeah,
people might pick it up and go, what is this? Yeah. So
go for it. I mean, you could do a little, not a plaque, but you know what I mean, a little printed something that you could add, and it could say like Lala Didrikson, I am featured in the book.
Yeah, and, page blah blah.
There are ideas that, as a speaker, that I've done with books that like Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield and Deepak Chopra and a lot of people I'm honored have asked me to write chapters in their books. And those books don't have 120 people in them. There's like 5. Right. And so what they did too was the book with the stories, and I was honored to be one of them. And then they said, if you would like to have a plaque right here on the cover, then you need to pay for that and we'll put you up. And I didn't, and also on the back. And I thought, this is the first time and I'm doing this as a part of my mission. And I didn't want in the very beginning for people to feel like, oh my gosh, well, now she's charging all this money to be on the cover. So you can go ahead and add that yourself, like Jenny just said, in some little piece you have printed, but do it, I'm sure you'll do it first class,
Right.
because you want it, to represent your staging. So anyway, I didn't sell any ads. I didn't do any of that. And those things were all suggested to me. And I just felt, there's plenty of time down the road as
we froze there
to
for
do
a
it or
second.
not to do it. And so I didn't do any of that. So anyway, I'm just honored to have everybody in it that's in it.
Well, we're really excited to see the book. And, when you find, I know there'll be a big release. We'll have you back on when it's finally out. That'll be really exciting. So we'll plan for that. And as you read your stories, I want to, give you the time to be able to do that. So we have time. Linda's in the lobby is what they call this, the holding section of the lobby. I can see if I can bring you on too. I'm going to add you to the broadcast, Linda, so you could be part of it with us. Let's see if I can do this. All right, now you're being notified. So here comes Linda.
Yay! Hi, Barb. Happy birthday.
Oh, honey. Oh, Happy New Year. And Linda is in the book.
Yes.
Yes. I'm so proud of the
impact of my life.
I love you, Linda. I love you.
Aw. Ditto,
Well, it's
ditto.
true. I love you. Life is so short, and I know that more than ever. And it's all about, really embracing each other, supporting each other, and staging really does that.
Yeah.
And, a banker, I was sitting with a banker, and the banker said, this is a number of years ago, and he said, well, what do you think staging is really about? And I thought, I'm going to tell him. So I said, staging's about love. You should have seen the look on his face. And I didn't say a word then. It was silence. And then he looked and said, that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm going to give you the loan. It was so great. And then we used to have, Jenny will remember that I was very excited to be able to introduce, stage it now and pay for it later, because we had a bank that would put it on a certain bank card, and it was a big deal at that time.
It was a great program.
So as that took place, I said that to the bankers back east too, and they also said, that's it, we're doing it. And people get it, because you don't say I like my home, either that or you'll leave and sell it. You say I love my home. And we say that hopefully about each other, because that's really, I think, what staging is. It brings love and a healing to the property so that the people feel less stress. I've seen people cured of illnesses, all kinds of things, that having the environment change lifts people up. And, some of them decide not to sell, to stay right there. But anyway, it's, I'm so proud of all of you, Linda and Jenny and everybody, for the great work you're doing and the love really that you're showing through your staging. Look at what you do staging. Stand back as you take pictures of it and say, wow, I did make this room more loving, because you did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then when buyers come in, they're like, I love this house, and they want to buy it.
Right.
So it's right. Both sides.
That's right. That's right.
So
How are you, Linda?
I'm good, thanks. Yes.
I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, glad to
Feels
see
fun.
you too, especially on your birthday. How fun is that?
I know.
Thanks, precious. That's
Actually,
awesome.
it was snowing here in Chicago a little bit for your birthday. Not now, but it
Oh,
was.
goody. I don't have snow here. I want snow. I love snow.
I do
You gotta
too.
come here. We're supposed to get snow Monday, Tuesday. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
So go ahead, and you have time to read one or two stories. So I'd love to hear. Because last time you read, you made me cry. It's such a wonderful story. So I wonder what you're going to read this time.
Well, dear heart, these are going to be shorter
Okay.
and little tidbits, so to speak. I don't think this will bring tears, but so be it if it does. And the first I want to share with you, and they're not very long. This, because I took pieces out of them. And the first is Iris out of Germany, who I just adore her. And she brought me to Germany, which was so exciting in 2018. I keep saying this year. And so with her beautiful way of sharing words, and she's the founder and the head of the Association for Homestagers in Germany. And I can't wait to see her sometime this year into the future. So, quote, the best of this process was that with each action, I felt, in capitals, the changes in our home. Because she started by not knowing about it, then staging her own home, and from there, the rest is history. I could feel as I did this that the room started to breathe. Isn't that great? It appeared bigger and brighter and more beautiful. My interpretation of a color theme was to accessorize each room with coordinating colors. Wow! This literally made everything come together. Our home became one beautiful unit, where before we'd had a lot of lovely individual rooms. This was pure magic to bring it all together. Everyone who viewed our home after the staging felt the energy within the house and within me. And I believe staging changes each of us. And it changed her for the rest of her life, just like it has you, I believe, in many ways. And I know as this came to me, it changed mine. And 1 week transformation actually took 3. Hey, I was very much the amateur. I endured 3 weeks of sweat, dust, paint, cleaning and clearing. Was it all worth it? Certainly was. My ugly duckling, I like that, had turned into a beautiful swan. After photographing my newly staged home and sending the pictures to our real estate agent, 5 showings were booked within days and resulted in 4 offers. Now, all of us are different with our markets, wherever we live and wherever the real estate industry is selling your home. And so in Germany, remember, this was not known at that time, not at all. And that's a big deal. So she continues, we were more than thrilled. Now we could not only sell, but we could choose our buyer. What a feeling that gave us. Remember that, everybody. That's really a great sentence. I will never forget the relief that came with the first offer and the pride and satisfaction of receiving multiple offers. Our previously unwanted house was in high demand. Staging not only netted us multiple offers, but it was around 40,000. She stated it in German dollars, around more than 40,000 more than the list price. Wow. This wasn't a bad return for 3 weeks of work. I swelled with pride in front of my husband, and a deep feeling of gratefulness came over me. And she goes on to share how 3 weeks as an amateur who was becoming a professional stager, the passion was a driving force within me. And I know you all feel that too. I continued to share my staging adventure with everyone, not only on the sales process of our home, but how it affected our lives. Mm-hmm. I love that. Mm-hmm. And her story is a longer story, and I felt as I read it that I was just going higher and higher and higher because of the beauty of the things that she wrote. Now, this is Stefania Vita. I don't know if can you see her picture, sort of?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
She's beautiful, and she goes by Steffi. This is just plucked out of her story. During our family vacation, I decided dress maison. That's how what she named her business would be my company's name. I selected that name because home staging is like dressing a lady. Good analogy.
It is a good analogy.
Very good. Emphasizing her characteristics. Now, friends and former work colleagues were aware of my staging business, and my first project came from one of them. The challenge was to give new life to an apartment in the center of Rome. Now, in Rome, there are condominiums and apartments. It's not like having a single family home. And it's just filled, well, millions of people like New York live there. Millions and millions and millions. And so that's a big deal because they're not sold as much as they are rented. And it's a way of life in Rome. The owners planned to rent the apartment to tourists. The apartment style was a bit old-fashioned. The owner said, Steffi, do everything to transform it into a cozy loft. Feel free. This was a great opportunity for me. I met with my friend Kelly to discuss details such as what to keep, what to transform, and what to throw away. We worked hard for 7 days transforming the apartment. And a number of them, as you'll see in the book, they just take it down to bare bones. And there's some great ideas from Europe. I know, I'm not saying you, but there are those that think, oh, we stage better in, and then fill in the blank. It's not really true anymore. That may have been when you started or, 3 years ago. They are real. Wait till you see the pictures. Oh my God. It just looks like this room is an old shoe. And the next thing, they ripped out the cabinets and they ripped out the windows and they did a lot of different things. And that's a part of staging there. In not every case, but in a lot of the cases. This was a great opportunity for me. And we worked hard for 7 days. I will never forget the owner's eyes when she opened the door to see the new color of the walls, the lights, and the details. It was in that moment that I understood I was in the right profession. The apartment was rented 18 days after listing. Now, a lot of these apartments sit for 6 months to a year, just like we see with properties in different parts of North America, depending on the market in their area. We were showered with positive feedback from our guests and Airbnb. They kept saying, superb apartment. It is a great apartment for visiting Rome. And the apartment is absolutely comfortable and feels brand new. And you're going to love the rest of her story and some of the challenges she ran into. And that's what people have been so loving to share, is it's not all like, well, I was a success the minute I started. No. It goes through the journey. And you may have had probably a different journey. So there are no two stories alike. And that's what's so beautiful. People are so open about how they feel about what they're doing. And doubt in themselves or in staging that they encountered and how they overcame many, many different challenges. And we have stories, as I said, from all over different continents. And, Italy, people in Italy sent a number of stories, Germany, Spain, United Kingdom, France, and it goes on, as well as from different states in the US, Canada, a couple from South America, because there's a lot of chaos going there with certain countries right now that are having challenges with, even fighting in some of the countries. And so Africa, there are challenges in some countries, and others are just beginning. And China to stage, and China there's no staging there. And I want us to be the first. And so it's just marvelous to look at the potential in China. And the last is just a little bit, and yet what a story she read from our dear Jeannie Westmoreland in Georgia. The dirt part of the path. The playground was on the school's second level. Mostly it was the girls who went there every day. Our tools were empty. Number 3 cafeteria cans the lunchroom ladies would give us so we could dig in the dirt This was the very beginning of my staging career. I was in the 2nd grade. Every day at recess, my friends and I staged in the dirt. I bet our moms dreaded laundry because of the muddy and torn little dresses. Our creations consisted of a village of sunken floor plans, complete with sidewalks, front entrances, steps down into the living room, carved out sofas and chairs, all honed with our hands and our number 3 cans and shined with rags. I'm sure they resembled the ruins often found on historical estates. What I would give for a real picture of what we created. And she goes on.
It's cutting out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So those of you listening, hopefully we're still. We keep freezing. Okay, Linda, you seem to be fine. So Barb, say something.
I'm here for you because I love you. And it may be that Linda and I are splitting
so she keeps freezing too.
Receiver. We might be splitting the receivership. Maybe we drop off Linda, I say goodbye, and bring her back. Hello!
That's fine.
Yeah, see, like my face is frozen now on the screen, so I don't know what's going on. I have my eyes closed.
Yeah, you do.
Jenny?
Jenny, are you awake?
Jenny?
Oh, we lost Jenny. Yep.
Linda's in control of everything. So you might
I wish.
you might want to drop her off. Let me say goodbye.
Okay, now she's back.
Yeah. I think that when we split the broadcast, perhaps, just perhaps, because I adore Linda, is that you might want to drop her off or just put her in silence. I say bye-bye, and then you drop me off and bring her back.
Well, now it's working, so.
We're splitting the power of the, what do you call, internet?
Well, this particular platform allows you to have 4 people. So it should not, and it's a paid platform, so this thing better work because it's not free like Facebook was. I said like a guitar. So something, it was probably a Wi-Fi connection was wonky. So you started reading Jeannie's story and you got to when they were digging with cans in the dirt, and then we couldn't hear anything.
I'm sorry. I'm still here.
Yes, I know you are.
And nothing changed here.
Okay.
That I know of.
So it could just be, it could just be a Wi-Fi thing it could be on my end, somebody. So go ahead and keep reading the story, and then we'll get to Linda.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure where to pick it up. It's just that these number 3 cans, they shined with rags and used their dresses.
Aww.
So their mothers weren't real happy. And she says, I'm sure they resembled the ruins often found in historical estates. What I would give for a real picture of what we created. This memory photograph will never leave me. Education ultimately gave me the final push into the direction of entrepreneurship. Each stop along the way prepared me for owning a now 6-figure home staging company, Classic Staging LLC of Atlanta, Georgia. And I just wrap it up at there. Every story is so beautiful.
I can't wait to read them all. It's going to be, we'll have to curl up with the good book and then coffee and just read through all the stories. And I really feel like we're going to get to know a lot of our colleagues a lot better. Well, things will be revealed that you didn't realize about them, so I think that's really cool. Well,
That's
Barb, yeah, well, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you get to read a lot with 700 pages.
Well, this is my kind of book too, because I can't read novels that are that long, which is like the story from start to finish, because I inevitably put it down and then I don't remember where I was. I got to start over again. But like this Chicken Soup for the Soul or something where these little nugget stories where you can pick up and keep reading. This is the perfect book for people like me and others that are, running around doing stuff. So it'll be good.
I'm
So-
just very excited, and I'm thrilled to be on with you. And when the book's actually out, the first copy I have to get to Sandra and then Ada, because otherwise they're going to string me up.
Yes.
So, and then it's going to be on Amazon and later bookstores. You know, it's one step at a time. How do you stage? One step at a time. And so you're right, Jenny, because the average story is like 3 to 4 pages. It's a perfect read. And then there are a few longer ones, but none are too long. I think 20 pages is the longest story.
Wow.
And there are several that are 1 page. I mean, they're all, everybody's special. I love you all so much. I just feel like this is a part of my mission. And I'm so glad to be alive and to be on this earth with all of you and really to help spread your love and my love through the book and through each of you that shared. I only wrote 1 chapter because I was going to write the whole book, but these stories, when they started coming in, it was like, I'm not going to put myself before them. My gosh, they're just gorgeous. So I write the first chapter, and it's not that long, and then each of you begin. And I'm very, very honored and grateful to each of you that send in stories and pictures, and I'm very, very honored to each of you that get the book and read it. And I think it will be one of your very favorites for the rest of your life.
I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. So, Barb, thank you for being on. And we love you so much, and happy birthday. So, Linda, let's sing to her, you and I together, because, and everybody else watching, I know you'll sing along with us too. So, ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Barb. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
And many more.
Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to me. I had a tough week last week, and I just so thrilled. Oh, yes.
I don't sing, so that was.
Thank you.
I love you. All right. Well, thank
Love
you so much
you.
for being on. We're going to have you back on when your book is out and other times as well, because you are a font of wisdom. We love you.
Thank
So say
you.
goodbye to
Love
Barb.
you.
Love you too.
Love you, Barb.
All right. So it was really exciting. So again, here's the whoops, where'd it go?
You got it.
Book. Oh, there it is. There's the book. So there's the book that'll be out, predicted to be out by the end of the month, hopefully. And we'll all have a big announcement. We'll be sharing that on social media and obviously other methods as well. So that'll be great. So this is kind of fun. All right, Linda. So thank you for being on.
Sure.
Our duet didn't quite go as planned. I think there was like a syncing issue or something.
Oh, that's funny. Well, and I'm going to sing in heaven, but I do not have a voice on this earth. So that was just the fact that I opened my mouth in public.
That's great. So you talk about your business. Let people know where you live and the name of your business.
Sure. I live in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and my business is Order in the House Staging Services, Inc. I know it's really long, but there was already an order in the house here when I opened up my business, and it was a cleaning business, so I had to make sure everybody knew who we were. We've been in business for 16 years, which I cannot believe.
Isn't it amazing?
I've known Jenny a long, long time, ever since she was in California. We're both, I'm from California. I don't know if you're from California, but
I am.
I remember your inspiration of your team in Sacramento. And one of my loves is that I love to run things. I have 4 sons. They're all grown now, but I love being a mom and running my household for the most part. And I remember just hearing about you and your Staging Sacramento team. And I had a business partner at the time when we first started, and that was our dream. we said, wouldn't it be great if one day you could be staging with somebody in one part of the city and I could be staging in another part, and we could do 2 jobs in one day. Wouldn't that be great? So that was always our dream, for reasons that, we couldn't control. She left the business, and I can't even believe that I stayed on to do it myself, but I did, and I felt God leading to me to do that. We had one gal who was with us at the time, just kind of helping us. She was also an ASP. But as I got more involved in our local IHOS chapter and saw the needs that we had, I just saw a real need for people who just love to stage to come work for us, with us. I have 1099 independent contractors, so I do not have any employees. So I have to be careful with my verbiage, but they work with me. And for years, I think we were thinking, why should everybody have to take the 3-day course? Yes, it's great information, but even as president of the Chicago chapter, I was noticing about at least half of our membership, and we have a pretty large chapter, they just wanted to stage.
Right.
They had no desire to run their own business, do marketing, all of that. There were, a handful of us who loved that part of it, the whole gambit. So I was so thrilled when you guys came up with the ASA designation, and I know it.
We lost the sound.
Oh, we lost.
So hang on,
sound.
Linda.
You're frozen on my end. I haven't done anything on my end. Well, don't quite know what to do about that.
Connection.
Huh?
So
I didn't touch anything.
Okay. You froze there for about 15 seconds.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good. So you said, so talking about, expanding your team, well, and I agree with you that a lot of people who come into the business, they don't really want to run a company. It's overwhelming.
Right.
So
Right.
being able to offer a course that gives them the ability to learn about staging, that it's not decorating and design, founded in, foundation of real estate, learn some of the principles, and then plug in to an existing business.
Right.
Yeah. So did you, so you have sent 2 people or 3?
2.
2.
Yeah, I have one other gal who may do it soon, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ASA course, the Accredited Staging Assistant course, was first being offered for ASP and ASPM stagers who wanted to add to their team. And then somebody posted something on Facebook for a class we were coming up, and I had all these people go, "What is that? I want to learn more. We need that." And so I thought, well, let's open it up to the general public. And so as long as these people are learning and then they're plugging into a staging business, at least they'll have a foundation for their education, which is important. And what was happening with some of the people that were sending people that were going to be assistants on their team to the full 3-day was on the 3rd day, of course, we talk all about setting up your business, all the ins and outs of doing that, but also potential income. And some of them were seeing that going, oh, I can possibly make X, Y, Z in income, and then you're only paying me this for staging, helping you. I'm going to do my own business, which of course that's their prerogative, but a lot of them then end up not doing anything because it's not easy running a business. So
Right.
the 2-day seems to satisfy that need for them to get the foundation. So how have the ladies been working out?
My gals are great. They both actually did it on the webinar.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that worked out great. I am pretty specific. If you're on my team, I want you to be accredited. So I was thrilled. They did not want to really put out the investment for the 3-day or couldn't, and had no desire to run their own businesses. So this was a win-win for us. They're both currently on my team, doing great. And I just lost a team member because she moved away. So this has been fabulous for me.
Yeah. And then, people say, like, if they can't, let's say this, you want to bring somebody on your team, but they can't afford the tuition, for the course. So then maybe like the company owner pays and then the people work it off. So it's not like it's free to them. So that's what I would do.
You probably have to be careful with that if they are not employees. I don't know that for sure, but I know, we just had an accountant into one of our chapter meetings, and, I'm really trying to be very careful about what I invest in, because if they're independent contractors, they really need to invest in it themselves. There's probably some way you can pay them back, but I would be careful.
Well, or they pay you back. Like if you pay for it and then they are able to then you apply some of that towards their wages. To me, that's fair, because then if somebody wants to, have a business later, they can always take the third day and they learn all the business setup. But the ASA course, we've had a lot of people go through it, and those of you that are at the point where, because your business is going to grow, and there's a point where you can't physically do anymore, and so that at that point you either just stay status quo with your volume. You're like, okay, this is what I can handle on my own, or you start adding to your team, and a lot of stagers, they look, within their, obviously in their community, the chapters have been a great place to find some of these people. And then even on social media, being able to put the word out. And I don't know if you probably do too, people that will write to you and say, I'm interested, and do you do internships, or, want to join your team. And so, I think a 1099 independent contractor, there's ones that they work for, I forget where she's located, but she works for a variety of, I think she's in your market. Isn't there somebody that she works with a lot of different companies? I'm trying to remember.
Well, one of the gals on my team, Teresa Burgess, she does work for me. She works for Terry Botanic sometimes. And really, as an independent contractor, they are allowed to do that, and they can. And we're great about that. I mean, I just ask gals that I specifically are on my team that they give me first preference, if there's a project, and they're great about that. So they just want to work a lot.
Yeah. And it's great. You said earlier, knowing what you like to do and what your strengths are, and then areas where you're like, well, it's like, for me, it's not that I don't enjoy staging, because I do. I love getting the houses set up, but my time is more valuable for my staging business, doing the business side. And then I have 4 people that can do the creative, they can do the setups. And then I have one of them that she's going to help organize the warehouse, because I haven't been there since like first part of December, I think. And it was when we moved in, and then there was a fire, and not in my unit, but there was, in the complex. And so anyhow, I know this stuff is just chaos, and I'm trying to rope other people into doing it. And they're like, I'm not doing that. So like family members. So this other assistant, she's going to hopefully go, and she likes to organize. She works part-time at Pottery Barn, and she does a lot of their, display staging. So she knows how to organize and do all that. So she says, would you like me to do this? And I was like, yes, I would.
Yes, please.
Yes,
please.
Yeah. And then,
one of the great things about having a team too, that I absolutely love, because my husband just retired, is we're going skiing next week.
Oh, fun.
And we're not going to be in Colorado. Sorry, we're going to be in Utah, but we're going skiing, and my business still runs without me. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. And that's really important. So that's the other part of having assistants. So that the manual they get talks about placement and hanging artwork and some of the logistics of staging. And it's not, in a box where you can't have flexible ideas and so forth, but at least gives them a framework. And it teaches them also things about how to be a good team member. Like when you're, represent, be professional, show up on time, stay off your phone, those types of things, because I feel like when they're on my time or your time, they need to be productive. But then there's that whole thing of being able to take a trip or have time with your family, and your company shouldn't come to a screeching halt just because you physically aren't there.
Right.
So that's the goal. So you're going to have fun skiing.
I know you're hitting snow. I'm thrilled.
Well, it'll be fun. So I wanted to have, one of the gals got back to me, so I'll eventually have her on too and talk to her about the assistant's perspective. But
that's great. Yeah. I know my gals love the webinar.
Oh, good. Yeah, so you can do the webinar. There's also every in-person class that we teach through Staged Homes. the assistant course is available because it's just the first 2 days. And then they get a special manual for them that other people don't receive. And then there's eventually going to be a webinar session that I'll record that kind of goes over some more logistics. And that's on the to-do list. And then that'll be given out to all the assistants. So they'll be able to, learn even more. So, which will be good. Yeah. So, well, I appreciate you being on. Sure. We are at our hour. So there was a little bit of technical. So hopefully those of you guys listening, I'm going to watch it back on Facebook and see how it looked. There was a couple times it froze. So, but when it froze, they said they could still hear you. They just couldn't hear me, which is interesting. Okay. So it might be my end with the Wi-Fi. So, but anyhow, but thank you, Linda, for coming in on a pinch. You have a great vacation.
You're so welcome. If anybody has any questions, I love, mentoring is what I do. So I'm happy to answer any questions for anybody who wants to start a team too.
Yeah, and Linda's wonderful. So, and she's an old timer like I am as far as being in business. So we're starting our 17th year, which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. All right, thanks, Linda. Bye.
Okay, Jenny. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. So as we are wrapping up, I'm going to quickly just add this in here. So make sure to go check out our conference website, ihospconexpo.com, to register. And again, this is kind of fun, all these little graphics. Oops, I didn't mean to put that one back in there. I meant to do, where's my Happy New Year one? Here it is. Happy New Year, everybody. And of course, because it's our wonderful staging mother's birthday, let me get rid of this. This is kind of fun. You can actually put pictures and stuff, as you can see in this version. So Barb, this is for you. A birthday cake. So happy birthday again, Barb. Thank you for being on the show, taking time on your birthday to be with us. We appreciate it. And the rest of you, please share this segment. We want to reach as many people as we can with the show. And again, Home Staging Talk Show Live is a conversation within the home staging industry. We're going to be at Las Vegas Market as well. And you'll, be seeing hopefully some short live videos from there on our pages. And those of you that are going to the Vegas Market, make sure to reach out to us. And we're actually teaching a one-day class there in Vegas for anybody who's watching that wants to learn more about staging. I'll be teaching the third day staging business day live on Wednesday, and then the other 2 days you would do via webinar or a live course in your area, or even we have the webinars also recorded, so you could complete that on your schedule. So if you're interested in that, just let us know. We're really looking forward to a fabulous year. Remember to plan to prosper. That's our slogan for the year, plan to prosper. So with that, I will say goodbye, and I will see you all next week, same time, and with some new guests. So we're really excited about that. So look for the announcement of who's on deck for next week. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.